Former Bills Hall of Fame wide receiver Andre Reed with us this morning. Good morning to you, Andre.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing?
Hey, very well here. Let's talk a little bit about this 1992 wildcard game against the Oilers. It, of course, is known as the comeback. Was there a specific point in that game where you kind of got the feeling, all right, we might win this thing?
Well, people don't realize, the week before we played Houston in the Astrodome, we got beat pretty good, 28-3. We didn't play well offensively. Defensively, we didn't play well. So it just so happened that we had to play them in a wild card game the next week, and we had them at home. So, number one, we felt good about being home. We were pretty good at home all year. I think we may have lost one game. We might even been undefeated at home all year. So we're going to use the crowd to our advantage, and it just so happened that the Oilers really kind of left off to a certain point, where they in the Astrodome the week before, and we were down 21-0 before we knew it. I mean, Warren Moon probably had the best at that time. He had the best half of any quarterback in probably in playoff history. Yeah. I think he missed like 3 passes and had 4 touchdowns and 4 possessions. So it was getting pretty ugly quick, and we had to do something to either ease the pain of it and try to get our crowd back into the game. But, there's probably 4 or 5 plays in that game. They call it the comeback, but there's a lot of reasons why it is the comeback, because there's probably 4 plays, 5 plays in that game that really turned the tide of the football game and made it, into our advantage and got the crowd into the game.
Dre, you talk about 4 or 5 plays. 3 of those plays were touchdowns you scored. Yeah. And, you had a stretch going right there. And just tell me, that series of plays where you were talking about getting the crowd back into it, what do you remember about those 3 touchdowns you scored?
Well, again, there's in order for those touchdowns to happen, there had to be some plays before that.
Yep.
And there's the first touch, the one touchdown, it was a 4th and 5. Marv Levy really gambled. It was 4th and 5, and we were in our, I think we were at the 23rd, 23, 24, something like that, yard line. And we had to make this play. This was one of the 5 plays, I think, that probably, if we don't make this play, the game probably is over to a certain point, because Houston gets the ball back and they can run out the clock to a certain point. But, what a gamble by Marv. It was a 4th and 5, and we had the momentum going a little bit before that. And really, this was the play that really set it off, the comeback of the game, a 4th and 5 play that we made, and I scored, I think it was my second touchdown in the game.
Speaking of comebacks, no doubt, Andre, that Rex Ryan's bravado is back now that he is the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. We saw that day one in his introductory news conference. Yeah. Give us an idea where you think he might make the biggest impact for this team.
Well, Rex is Rex. Hey, what can you say about that guy? I saw him at the Super Bowl, and he just said, strap on your seatbelts. That's what he said to me. So whatever that means, it's good. And I'm looking forward to, not only his vibrancy and the way he coaches, but he's a very defensive-minded coach. And, he brought Greg Roman in on the offensive side of the ball. As you guys know, we made pretty significant moves here in the offseason with free agency. And I'm just looking forward to getting that, putting it all together. Mm-hmm. And, they're a step away. And if you look at the AFC East, they're all doing something to try to stop the Patriots. And, hopefully that this is our year finally after 15 seasons of not being in the playoffs. And I'm looking forward to some good things happening with LaShawn McCoy coming in, and you got Felton and all these other guys. The defense is pretty much set. They re-signed Kyle Williams, and it should be exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, what would you do at the quarterback position? You got E.J. Manuel there, the young guy, brought in some older players. Where do you go?
Well, there's going to be quarterback competition. I think, with Matt Castle, and they brought Tyrod Taylor in from the Ravens. So there's going to be 3 guys that are fighting for the Rex is not going to make that decision probably to the first game. And I think, EJ is, I think he's going to get another chance and another crack at this. And I'd like to see him do well. He's a good kid. He has all the tools to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. And I think the guys are behind him. And he just has to have the right mindset going into camp that not only can he get better, but he can be the leader that this team needs on offense.
All right, Andre Reed, Hall of Famer, joining us this morning here on NFL AM.
Hey, man, start answering your text.
Yeah,
Watch out,
will, man.